Namaste, yogis. So this practice is it's all on the floor. It's a practice to strengthen all sides of the core, and it's kind of progressive. This is fine for a beginner to do, and we'll have progressive sets so that you can increase time or increase the intensity of the exercises as you go forward, as you gain strength, so that you can use this over a period of time. A couple of points of anatomy. I will probably talk about the hip points, which are the bony points at the top of the pelvis right here. And we often like to create engagement and draw that low belly in by feeling as if we have a drawstring and we're drawing those two hip points together. So I'll talk about that. And then the little bone at the base of the spine is the tailbone and the sacrum. So to create engagement and alignment in the low back and protect the low back, we'll take the tailbone and the front of the pelvis towards each other, really drawing the front and back together, as well as drawing those two hip points together. So this practice is also very helpful if you have back pain, especially if you've been sitting for a long time. If you just haven't been active for a while, this will really, really help. It's also really essential to continually strengthen the core over time. So this is a good one to come back to. So we'll start on our backs. Oh, as far as props, we'll do a little bit sitting, not much. You might want a blanket for that. I will cue a block. So if you have a block, you might want that, or you can use a blanket or pillow. You'll see when we get there. And also for relaxation at the end for Shavasana, since this is designed for back pain in order to relieve and really relax at the end of class, I would suggest a blanket or a bolster under the knees, or you can use a big pillow. Okay, so let's start by coming to the back for a warm-up. Bend the knees, take the feet out to the edges of the mat, and allow the knees to fall inward towards each other. And place the hands on the belly, on your abdomen. And feel into all of the points of contact between your body and the floor. Just feeling into that solidity. The core are the muscles that surround the abdominal organs, make up the abdominal wall. It also includes muscles of the back and the hip flexors. But we often think of the core as our tummy muscles. And so I invite you to send some love to those tummy muscles under your hands. So bring your breath into your hands, into the abdomen. is a part of our body we often don't pay attention to, aren't really aware of. We either hold tension there or there's looseness. So just become aware of that part of your body. And we may have some emotions that come up as you bring awareness to the core of your body and to your abdomen. And just acknowledge whatever thoughts, emotions, feelings arise without trying to change them. Just acknowledge. Give them space. And then give a little love to this part of our body. Thank it for all it does for us. Helping us to stand and walk. Holding in our organs. And a place of pleasure as well. Of ice cream, and muffins. So just with your heart and with your mind, just bow and thank this part of our body. And if you wish to join me, I think I will give it an Om. So we'll send one Om to our core. Exhaling, inhaling. Om. And then walk the feet in so that they're hip width apart and in line with the knees and the hip points. And we'll begin to rock. We'll start by rocking the pelvis. So drawing those hip points towards the floor so that the low back draws into the floor, and then lifting the hip points, rocking the pelvis between the legs, lifting the low back. Exhaling, low back comes to the floor. Inhaling, we rock the pelvis towards the tailbone, lifting the low back. And continue back and forth between those two positions, noticing that I'm staying in contact with the floor the entire time. And imagine that the bowl of the pelvis is a bowl and could hold water. And as you rock the pelvis towards your head, the water would splash out towards the head. As you rock the pelvis towards the feet, the water would splash towards the feet. So find that point now in between those two extremes where the in the bowl of the pelvis would be still and flat. That's the point that's going to give you um, the alignment and the engagement throughout the exercises today, throughout this practice. So use your muscle engagement to hold that position by drawing the hip points towards each other, drawing the front of the pelvis and the tailbone towards each other. So all around, just engaging all around that pelvic floor of muscles. You can also draw the ribs down towards the pelvis. Now, lift the knee directly over the hip crease, so directly over the hip, and the lower legs will be at 45 degrees. Take the arms out in T, draw the navel in, keep all that engagement. We'll start with twists. Inhale, exhale, lower the knees halfway to one side. Inhale to the center, exhale the knees halfway to the other side. And continue back and forth. Keeping the knees situated right over the hips. And then back to center, lower the feet to the floor. This next one is, this is an exercise that comes from Pilates. This is called toe taps or heel taps. So once again, lift the knees over the hips. Keep them no closer to the head than here. And one leg at a time, take the heel down and tap the heel onto the floor. Keeping the hip points drawn together, keeping the ribs drawing down, drawing the navel in, but not drawing the back into the floor. You want to keep that natural alignment of the spine that we found at the beginning of class. So that's stage one, and that's fine. Stage two of this exercise is to add the arms. So the arms are extended right over the shoulders. Stage three, as you get stronger, is to extend the legs and move the one leg and the opposite arm. And this is called dead bug. So the opposite arm and leg go down to the floor, and then all four come up to the center, and the opposite arm and leg lower to the floor. All right, and lower everything to the floor. And take a breath. Now, if you have a block, take that block on its short edge between the thighs. Or if you don't have a block, you can take a pillow or roll a blanket into a roll like this and place it between the thighs. Draw the feet a little bit closer towards the buttocks. We're going to do a moving bridge and then a hold, bridge hold. So once again, drawing the hip points towards each other, engaging all around the pelvis, drawing the ribs down towards the hips, the arms alongside the hips with the palms up, and feel as if you're pulling the heels towards your buttocks, and then shift or press through the shins, lifting the hips off the floor. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Keep drawing the heels towards you and pressing through the shins. And squeezing into the block. And your glutes, your butt muscles are engaging, but they're not clenched. You can also add arms to this exercise, lifting the arms overhead and onto the floor, and then bringing them back to beside the hips. And a really good exercise is to coordinate the arms and the hips together so that they come down to the floor at the same time. I'm not that good. All right, this time hold in the upper position. You can bring the arms back alongside the body. Pressing, drawing the heels towards you, press through the shins, press the shoulder blades onto the back, pressing the arms into the floor. The neck is relaxed. Breathing into the belly. And then to come down, lift the heels, inhale, exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time until the sacrum is on the floor. Remove the block. And take a breath. All right, and then roll onto hands and knees. Let's take a couple of cat and cows. Now, if you have sensitive wrists, if your wrists are tender, then I invite you to roll up the edge of your mat, and you can place the heel of the hand on the roll, and the fingers will be on the floor. Let's take a couple of cat and cows. Inhale, exhale, round the whole spine towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the ribs towards the floor, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, around the spine, tuck the chin. A couple more times. All right, and come back to a neutral spine. Our next exercise is deceptively easy or deceptively simple. It's actually quite strenuous. It involves tucking the toes. If you've taken a class with me before, you know that I have arthritis in my feet, and so I use these sandals to protect my arthritis. So this is called flying cat. You'll tuck your toes under, draw the navel into the spine so the low belly kind of hollows out, tucking the toes, and then you'll lift, inhale, exhale, lift the knees about an inch off the floor. And inhale, lower down. Now, what I often see when I teach this in class is people will lift the knees this far. This is a lot easier and not really what we're going for. Just about an inch off the floor. Okay, inhale, exhale, draw the belly in, lift the knees, inch off the floor. Inhale, lower down, come in to table. Exhale, draw the belly in, tuck the toes, lift the knees, about an inch. Inhale, Exhale, lower down. This time we'll hold for a couple of inhales. Inhale, exhale, round. Lift, inhale. Keep drawing the navel in, exhale. Draw the navel in, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees down. Relax the toes. Take a couple of cat and cows. Okay, and unroll the mat. And we're going to do a little bit of warm-up sitting. So if you have a blanket, you can get your blanket. Whew, that was a little hard on the shoulders, wrists, and elbows. Let's roll the shoulders. And then clasp the hands, turn the palms out, and the backs of the hands out. And then clasp the hands and circle the wrists. And go the other way. And then take the fingers, palms down, fingers out. Make soft fists and then explode the fingers towards the ceiling. So fingers to the front, fingers to the ceiling. And then shake out the hands. Let's take one arm and circle the whole arm back to the back. Other arm, circle it back to the back. And then some side bends. Let's do a sweeping side bend. Take the left hand down to the mat. Inhale the right arm overhead. Bend to the left. Sweep around front and back again. So this is for the shoulder, but it's also targeting the whole side of the body. So sometimes people just want to do the shoulder. No, get the whole side of the body, really bend into it. You'll thank me after the next set of side planks. All right, and release that side. Right fingertips down to the mat, left arm comes up. Sweeps around in front. Really get into that whole side of the body. One more. Whew. And loosen it all up. All right, next we're going to do side planks. So this will be progressive as well. Come onto one forearm and the hip. The elbow and hip are in a line. The legs are bent and stacked. You're going to press evenly into the forearm and draw the arm towards the hips throughout this. And lift the hips off the mat. Keep drawing the arm, pressing down and towards the butt and down. and lift and lower. So this is number one. What I will often see people do is kind of roll towards the front or rolling into the arm, or sometimes there's a tendency to roll to the back. You want the hips stacked one on top of the other. So you want to come straight up. There's no roll in this. What's going to help you is to draw the hip points together. Really think about engaging the whole abdomen, the core in here. All right, lift and hold and breathe. And lower down. Okay, that's level one. Level two, extend the bottom leg. The body's in one long line. The foot, the hip, and the elbow are all in a line with each other. The top foot goes alongside the bottom thigh. And the body comes up. Press into the pinky toe side of the bottom foot and all four corners of the front foot. Press into the forearm and draw it back towards the body. Inhale, exhale, lower down. That's stage two. Stage three, if you're feeling strong, is to stack the feet. And lift. And breathe. Ooh, I'm not feeling strong. So let's go to the other side. Side plank on this side. Once again, pressing into the forearm, drawing the arm towards the hip, pressing down with the shoulder into the floor. Knees are stacked, hips remain stacked. Draw the belly in, draw the hip points together. Really engage. And lift and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. And hold and breathe. Stage two. Bottom leg is extended, pressing into the knife edge of the pinky side. Front leg crosses in front, pressing down all four corners. So not on the side, just pressing all the way down. And press in, lift. Keep drawing the arm towards you, pressing away from the floor. And lower down. And stage three. Extending both legs, stacking the feet. Stacking the hips. And lower down. Whew. So, yeah, I need to practice those. You can work up to 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute on that. So there's lots you can do with that one. All right, and now the core includes the back muscles as well. We've really worked the front of the body. We also want to work the back. So come down onto your belly. We'll come into cobra. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Press into the tops of the feet. Spread the toes, pressing all of the toes into the mat. Engage the muscles of the legs. Draw the top of the pelvis and the navel away from the floor. Shimmy the hips or the ribs towards the pelvis. Take the shoulders up, back, down, on, or up, back, and onto the back. Draw the elbows towards the feet. And we'll lift 3 times, and then the 4th time we'll hold. Inhale up, lifting the chest off the floor. Exhale, lower the chest down. Notice your head, your gaze is still towards the floor as you're up. Maybe it's a couple of inches in front of you. But the neck, you notice my neck is not moving. This motion is in the spine, not the neck. Okay, one more time. Inhale, lift. Breathe. Lift the hands off the floor. Breathe into your belly. Press into your feet. Exhale, lower down. Relax the legs, relax the hips. Cross the arms in front of the chest. Take your forehead to your crossed arms or hands. And take a couple of breaths here. Lift the knees, or lift the feet, bending at the knees, and scissor the feet. And lower the feet down. Press up and come to sitting on your butt for boat pose, Navasana. You'll be balancing on your sits bones. Notice how I was starting to round my back there. We want to make sure not to round in the back through this. The legs are in front of you. The heels stay on the floor to start, and then we'll lift them off the floor. Legs are bent. And then you lift the low back into the front of the body so that your back is in a neutral position. You can take the hands under the knees, extending the elbows. Draw the arm bones into the sockets. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Draw the hip points together, ribs towards the pelvis. And from here, breathe. Drawing the low belly in. And then lift one foot, and then the other foot. The neck should be able to be relaxed. You can breathe. Keep drawing the belly in. Keep resisting rounding. So that's stage 2. Stage 3 is arms alongside the legs, releasing the legs. Inhale, exhale, lower the feet to the floor. And take a breath, a very grateful breath. And then lower yourself down. Take the feet out wide, lower the knees into each other. Take a few breaths here. And extend the legs long. The arms can go out to the side or overhead. If that is comfortable for you, we'll take a side bend. So walk the head, neck, and shoulders over to the right and walk the feet to the right. So taking a C shape with your spine, stretching the left side of the body. And take the breath into that left side. And then walk everything back to the center. And walk head, neck, and shoulders over to the left. Walk the feet over to the left. Breathe into the right side of the body. And take everything back to center. And draw the knees in towards the chest. Hug the knees into the chest. Breathe into the belly. Take the feet down to the floor. Press into the floor, lift the hips. Take the hips a couple of inches to the right and lower them back down. Extend the left leg long on the floor. Take the right foot on top of the left thigh or shin. Take the left hand to the raised knee. Right arm goes out in T. Inhale, exhale, roll the knee over towards the left. The right shoulder blade stays on the floor, grounded into the floor. And if you have no issues with your neck, you can turn your head to the right to gaze at the extended hand. Take an inhale, exhale, roll back to center. Bend the knees, feet on the floor, shift the hips back to center. Then lift the hips a couple of inches, take them to the left, lower them down. Extend the right leg. Place the left foot on top of the right thigh or shin. Right hand to the raised knee. Inhale, exhale, roll to the right. Left arm is extended. Gazing at the left hand if that is okay with your neck. Inhale. Exhale, roll back to center. Both feet on the floor. Shift the hips back to center. And find your own Shavasana. And since this really did work the low back, I suggest putting a pillow, bolster, blanket under the knees. And perhaps you want something under your head or covering you. Find your way into your comfortable Shavasana. The arms are alongside the body, palms up, The hands can be a couple of inches away from the hips. Just feel into all the contact points of your body, between your body and the floor. And bring your awareness to your breath. Move the breath into the chest. With your next breath, come into the lower ribs and the upper abdomen. And with your next breath, come into the lower abdomen. Can you find the breath in the back of the body? Bring the breath into the upper back. Next breath into the middle back. Can you find the breath in the low back? And with your next breath, can you find awareness of the breath all the way down to the pelvis and the tailbone? Now bring the breath on your next breath into the right side body. Next breath into the left side body. Next breath, the whole ribs, front, sides, and back of the ribs, all at the same time. One final breath into the abdomen. And as you exhale this breath, let everything go. One breath into the whole body, feeling the whole body expand on the inhale, and the whole body release into the support of the floor as you exhale. Release awareness of the breath now. Releasing concentration on anything. Allow the body to relax. Release into the floor. If thoughts arise, simply allow the thoughts to pass by. Observe the thoughts as they come, blossom, arise, and fall away. And now begin to come out of relaxation, noticing the feel of your body on the floor. Notice the feel of your clothes on your skin. Notice the sounds that you can hear in this room. Notice if there are any sounds that you can hear outside this room. Notice if there's a smell to the air, a taste in your mouth. And keeping your eyes closed, imagine all of the objects around you, remembering your place in this room. And now very slowly begin to move the small joints of the body, the fingers, the toes, the hands, the feet. Bringing movement into more and more of the body. Moving the arms, the legs. Stretching in whatever way feels good to you right now. Drawing in one leg, the other leg, towards the chest. Giving yourself a hug. Rock side to side. Massage out the low back. And then allow this rocking to roll you onto your right side. And from here, extend the top leg and press up with the top arm. Bring yourself to sitting. And we began the class with an Om, so we'll end class with an Om. If you wish, you can bring your hands in front of your chest and Om with me if you wish. Exhale, inhale. Om. And I wish each and every one of you deep and abiding peace. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.